Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about last night's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between Pacers and Celtics because, wow, was that an insane game. We're going to talk all about it here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Join the membership if you want to learn more about the membership. There's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. It's my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that. Description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So last night, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Celtics and the Pacers. And this was a very, very entertaining game. This was a great way to start off the conference finals. Wow. The Celtics got off to a great start. Obviously, they start off on a 12-0 run, but the Pacers eventually, the bench, Obi Toppin was big in the first quarter in the bench to kind of come back, settle things down. In the second quarter, the Pacers were really good. Miles Turner went on a big run. I think he scored what? 12. He scored 12 points in the second quarter. He had 18 in the first half. He was amazing. He's been amazing all playoffs. He was amazing in that second quarter. Really brought Indiana back. Tyrese Halliburton also had a couple shots. He had a big shot to end the first half. And for Boston, it kind of looked like they were playing the Pacers game in a sense. Like they were playing fast. There's a time I think where Pacers scored their first bucket or second bucket, and the Celtics came down. Tatum had a layup on the other end, kind of doing something similar to what the Pacers do to other teams to them, which is interesting to see because the Knicks kind of did that in the last series as well. At least to start the series, the Knicks kind of were playing fast and were also trying to keep up with the Pacers' pace. And Boston did the same thing early in this game in the first half, and it was just leading to a lot of turnovers. Like Boston had 14 turnovers in this game, Indiana had 21, which we're gonna get to some of them, but Boston had a lot of turnovers in this game. I feel like a lot of them were just bad passes, just trying to make a outlet pass or trying to make a pass that you didn't really need. And the Pacers had great instincts. Tyrese Halliburton had a lot of really good steals in this game that were like, wow, that's some really good stuff. And it was a tie game going at halftime after all that. In the first half, yeah, they're really led by Jaylen Brown. Had a good first half. Tatum, Derek White hit a couple shots. Drew Holiday hit a couple shots. Al Horford was playing really good basketball. Al Horford took 7 threes in the first half, which is crazy. But and it was a tie game at halftime. In the third quarter, it looked like Boston was going to pull away. They started to attack. They started to get to the paint, get to the free throw line. It took 13 free throws in the third quarter. And it looked like they started to, kind of put their imprint on this game. Indiana was turning the ball over. Had 5 early turnovers in the quarter. Boston was getting to the free throw line, getting out in transition, hitting shots, and it was like, okay, here we go. Boston, I think they took like an 11-point lead at one point, 12-point lead. But then Indiana, the greatest things I've seen in these playoffs, and one of the most impressive things in this playoffs has been the way the Indiana Pacers have responded to runs. I feel like in every series, they've had moments where teams go on big runs and it looks like, oh, here we go, the game's over. Indiana responds. So, like, credit to Indiana. I feel like they are really good at responding to runs. And Tyrese had a shot to end the third quarter, and all of a sudden, it was a 1-point game, I think, going into the third quarter. And then we go into the fourth quarter. The Pacers start off really good. Pascal Siakam has a really good quarter. Andrew Nemhard has a couple big shots. And the play, oh man, Indiana was just on it in the fourth quarter. And it looked like Indiana was going to steal game 1 in Boston. Drew Holiday was playing a really good game as well, kind of keeping Boston in it. Him, Derek White, or kind of keeping Boston in it. Andrew Nemhard hit back-to-back huge, cold step-back mid-range jumpers. They were up 3 with 39 seconds left. Then the Pacers turnovers. The Pacers look like a young team for the last 46 seconds of this game. So when Nemhard hits a shot, they go up 3, 46 seconds left. Boston calls a timeout. Boston comes down. Tatum misses a three-pointer. They get the rebound by Nemhard. Tyrese Halliburton has the ball. Looks like they're going to try to pace up the court. And Halliburton, I think he tried to pass it off to Nesmith. I forgot what. But he turns the ball over. Loses the ball out of bounds on a pass that I don't even know if he really had to make. And that was like, oh, well, Boston gets another chance. They come down. Derek White misses a layup. Literally a layup that you probably make 99 out of 100 times. This is the one time that you miss. Tatum gets the offensive rebound. Does a little fading jumper. Misses. Miles Turner gets the rebound. They give it out to Halliburton. Halliburton gets fouled, but they're on the bonus set, so they have to inbound the ball one more time with 10 seconds left. They inbound. I think it's Nemhard on the side. Tries to inbound it to Pascal Siakam, and this was where the game was over right here, I think. Where you look back and you're like, that's the moment. Andrew Nembhard tries to inbound the ball to Pascal Siakam, and Siakam gets a tip by Jaylen Brown. And instead of letting it go out of bounds, for some reason, I don't know what he thought in his head, Pascal tried to save the ball when it was already out of bounds and gives the ball back to Boston with 8 seconds left. And you can saw, I don't know, I saw on the broadcast where they're like going in a TV timeout, and Nembhard looked at Siakam and was like, "Bro, let the ball go. Like, what are you doing?" And I think that's the moment right there where Indiana Pacers fans they're gonna look back and be like, "That was the moment where we lost this game." If Pascal does not go for that ball and lets it go out of bounds, the Pacers inbound with 8 seconds left. Who knows what happens after that in the inbound? Maybe they do it again. Maybe they do get a steal. Who knows? But right now, look back at it. That's the moment where Indiana lost this game. Was Pascal Siakam trying to go for the offensive rebound or trying to go for the save for the loose ball for no reason? And then another end, Jaylen Brown makes a very tough 3-pointer right in Pascal Siakam's face. Hits a three. And there was also maybe a thing on Pascal Siakam on if he should have fouled on that opportunity, fouling up three. Even LeBron tweeted, like, that's why I fouled up three, because Jaylen Brown hits a really tough shot, and we go into overtime. And then overtime, Tyrese hits a shot to start it. It's very back and forth, back and forth. Indiana starts missing some shots, and the Celtics get into the free throw line. Tatum, Drew Holiday was amazing this game. A lot of him and Derek White had a lot of offensive rebounds in this one. And then Tatum has an and one opportunity with TJ McConnell. Why do you foul? I think he was. I understand a little bit of that TJ McConnell fouling on that Tatum and one in overtime because I think he tried to foul him on the floor before he can get up, but he's just not big enough. Tatum just shot over him, and he got called for the foul. And then Tyrese turns the ball over again after that, where Tyrese gets locked up by Drew Holiday, loses the ball out of bounds, and then Tatum comes out, hits a 3-pointer, and that kind of sealed the game right there. Boston survives game one, winning 133 to 128. What an amazing way to start the conference finals. Jason Tatum 36 and 12 in this game, shot 12 for 26, 10 for 12 from the free throw line. That was, really good for him getting to the free throw line. He was being really aggressive on Indiana, which is something he should do all the time. Drew Holiday, though. Drew Holiday, I was saying in overtime before the Pacers blew that lead, I was like, dang, the Boston Celtics are really going to waste a Drew Holiday game like this. 28, 7, and 8 on 10 for 16 shooting for Drew Holiday. Just a spectacular game from him. He hit so many big shots, made so many great defensive plays. He forced a turnover on Tyrese Halliburton to give the chance opportunity for Jason Tatum to hit that three to seal the game. So yeah, Drew Holiday just doing so many things. Jaylen Brown, 26, 7, and 5 with 3 steals. Was good as a start. Kind of disappeared in the middle of the game, but hit the big 3-pointer when it mattered. And then yeah, Derek White 15, 6, and 9, and Al Horford 15 and 6 in this game. We got Boston, yeah. Boston, the rebounding game was close. The assist game actually was a lot closer than expected. Boston forced 21 Indiana turnovers in this game. They hit 15 threes, while Indiana hit 13 threes, and the free throw disparity really was a big talk. Boston 24 for 30 from the free throw line. Indiana 9 for 10 from the free throw line. So Boston was just being a lot more aggressive. Tatum getting to the free throw line, Jaylen Brown getting to the free throw line. Like that's just what they were doing. They were being a lot more aggressive. But Boston finds a way to survive this game, finds a way to stay in it, hit big shots. They survive, they win, and now hopefully maybe they can kind of take this game as a sign of like, oh shoot, this Pacers team is for real. We got to actually take this team seriously. Because at one point, I mean, the start of the first quarter was great, and then the start of the third quarter was great, where they were really locked in. They looked locked in on both ends. They were being aggressive, getting to the free throw line. They were playing amazing defense, all that stuff, and then they just kind of let off the gas and let Indiana stay around. When you give a team like this with the offensive firepower they have a time to stick around, eventually shots are going to fall. And the shots start to fall, and you end up, you know, by getting lucky because Pascal Siakam lost his basketball IQ for a second. You got lucky that you came out and was able to force overtime to be able to win this game. So Boston has to be a lot sharper and a lot more locked in, which is one thing I said in my preview video, where it's like the Celtics are liable. Their intensity has been, quite in question in this playoffs. Some points because there's been some points where they give up leads and they've been, kind of letting teams hang around that shouldn't hang around. And we saw that here today. And for Indiana, this is a very, very tough loss to deal with. This is a dang near heartbreaking loss if you're the Indiana Pacers. I mean, you did basically everything right. You had 7 players scoring double figures. You won the assist game, won the rebounding game, forced the turnovers, had the opportunity, had all the momentum, and then you let it slip away. It's a tough one. Tyrese Halliburton, great game, 25, 10 assists, 8 for 18, 6 of 14 from 3. He was amazing in this game. Pascal Siakam, 24, 12, and 7 on 12 for 23 shooting. He was doing great in the fourth quarter, where Indiana was kind of slowing the game down, and they were just letting Pascal Siakam kind of do his thing on Al Horford, where they were dominating Al Horford on the little free throw line mid-range area. But Pascal Siakam also kind of lost in the game in a sense of goes for that loose ball out of bounds and he doesn't foul Jaylen Brown on that three-pointer. So tough game for Pascal. Miles Turner, 23 and 10, 9 for 13 shooting, 3 3-pointers. He was amazing in this game. And then, yeah, Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell combined for 28 points off the bench on 12 for 19 shooting. Those two were spectacular in this game. Aaron Nesmith has 14 and 6. He did foul out, but he was making great defensive plays, great energy, hustle plays, so many hustle plays. Andrew Nembhard, 12, 7 assists. He had a couple big shots. Like, you got everything you really wanted in this game from Indiana. I mean, you won the assist battle, won the rebounding battle, shot 53% from the field. You got 7 players scoring double figures. Your bench gives you 30 points, and you let it slip away in overtime. Very, very tough loss if you're the Indiana Pacers to take game one and kind of send a message to the world being like, hey, like we're here. Say what you want about us being here, but the journey we got to being here, but we're here. But unfortunately, they can't get in game one. Maybe they can bounce back in game two. It's going to be tough. I'm expecting Boston to come out in game two, honestly, and kind of dominate game two. That's what I'm expecting, at least, which I honestly thought it was going to go the opposite. I thought this was going to be like a game two type of game where Indiana kind of settles in. It's like, all right, because coming off of game seven, all that intensity to go into a game one with Boston having dang near a week to rest. I thought it was going to be a little bit, Boston was going to come in, dominate them right away, and just get a big win to start off the series. But credit to Indiana coming off that game seven and coming off Boston having a week rest. You wouldn't even think it because Indiana came out, and while it took them a little while to settle into the game, they settled in and really should have won this game, honestly. But yeah, we'll see what happens in game two. But I'm very excited for the rest of the series. I'm a lot more excited than what I was before this game. I'm a lot more excited now because if Indiana can hold their own with this Boston team and have games like this, even if they lose the series in five, but it's all five really competitive games similar to this one, that would be a win for them. So I'm very excited to see what happens in game two. But wow, wow, was this an amazing game? Boston, you got to lock in because this Indiana Pacers team, man, this Pacers team is not going to back down to you. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.